What's going on, everyone? My name is Zach and I am a wedding videographer here in Massachusetts, and I've been shooting weddings professionally for about 7 years. There's a lot of different directions you can go in the video production industry, and early on I figured out that I wanted to be a wedding videographer. I feel like a lot of people kind of look down on the industry, going to school, but I found early on that I really enjoyed it. I got lucky, and I shot a friend's wedding, and it went well, and they posted it out there, and I ended up getting a lot of business. I really enjoy being a wedding videographer. There's obviously upsides and downsides to being a wedding videographer, and I just wanted to make this video to kind of talk about the lifestyle, the ups and downs, and why I chose to be in this line of work for those of you considering being a wedding videographer. The number one big thing for me, why I chose to be a wedding videographer, is because I love working for myself. I've never been the type of person to thrive in an office, and I know a lot of people, that's just not the environment they thrive in. So I love, working for myself, calling my own shots, and I'm the one dealing directly with the client. I think that's been the biggest game changer for me. Mentally, physically, I love working for myself. I love, being my own boss, and, the sky's the limit. Money is obviously one of the biggest, factors when trying to find, your line of work. And when I first started doing weddings, I wasn't charging much, but it was still so much more than what I was making working a regular job. And now that I'm doing this 7 years later, and now I'm seeing what I'm charging now, it's just crazy. You have to know your self-value, and every single year I've been shooting weddings, I've been learning something new, and I've been able to raise my rates every single year. And now I'm at a point that I'm making money that I never ever thought I'd be able to make. And that's something I never really enjoyed about working at a full-time regular job, is that I have a fixed yearly income. And I kind of like the challenge of saying, hey, I want to try to go for $200,000 this year. I'm charging the right amount of money. If I just grind, I can break 50,000, I can break 100,000, I can shoot for 150,000, I can, really bust my butt and go for, breaking $200,000 for the year. And I think it's really exciting to, set these goals for myself, and I just have to, bust my butt and really set those big goals for myself. And that's something that I've really enjoyed, that I am the only one stopping myself from achieving bigger things. And it's taught me a lot about myself, it's taught me a lot about my work ethic, and it's been very rewarding. I consider myself a freelancer, even though I technically have my own business. I do consider myself a freelancer, and something that's nice about shooting weddings that's different from, like working in the film industry, is that the work is consistent. Obviously not counting, COVID. It's been very consistent. I'm easily able to do at least 30 to 50 a year. But in the industry, in the film industry, you have things like these writer strikes, or all these different type of strikes, and it can be very stressful. But the thing I like about shooting weddings is I'll book jobs a year out, sometimes 2 years out, and that just makes life a lot less stressful, planning for the long-term future, planning trips for the year. I know certain months are going to be busier than other months, so I can plan to just dedicate these months for work, and then these other certain months, like the winter, that's going to be the play. This next topic kind of relates to a few other things we've talked about, but shooting weddings has given me an opportunity to buy other gear that I never would have been able to afford just working a full-time job. I also shoot corporate work on the side, and because the money has been so good, it's allowed me to, buy my dream tripod. I've got one of my dream cameras that the C70 that I'm shooting on right now. I was able to basically shoot a documentary on and off for about 4 years because my schedule was so flexible, and it was a passion project, so I didn't charge for it. I really liked the topic, and I'm so glad that I was able to have the flexibility to shoot this project on my free time and not have to worry about giving up all this time for other jobs. One of my favorite things about shooting weddings is, these bride and grooms, it's they're literally their happiest day of their lives. And when I create a video and they tell me they cry and they're just so happy, and And I get tips, getting tips is always fun. And I feel very rewarded after just getting such a glowing feedback and they were just crying. It's very rewarding. So moving on, there's of course going to be some cons, some downsides to this lifestyle. One of those cons is that if you're shooting weddings, you're probably going to be working every single weekend, depending on how much time you're willing to put in on this. For me, I'm shooting every Saturday, definitely every Saturday from like May to November. That's easy. So I basically have no Saturdays free. Fall, summer, spring, and then I have a lot of Sundays, lots and lots of Sundays. So there's crazy amounts of weekends lost where I'm shooting Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you enjoy your weekends, if you like hanging out with your friends on the weekends, might not be a good career choice for you. I personally like working on the weekends because I'm not a fan of crowds, and if I'm ever doing an activity, camping, going out, there's always crowds and it's mobs, so I'm a big fan of working on the weekends. The next thing that can be a little bit tricky and stressful is all the pressures on you. You're working for yourself, which is great, but you are the one that's solely responsible for the day. All the pressure's on you. If you make a mistake, hopefully you have an understanding bride or groom. I've had a lot of really good luck with brides and groom. I have not had a lot of mistakes. All the pressure's on you. If I've never had footage corrupt or anything like that, but I've heard about it. All the pressure's on you. That's a pretty stressful, thing to be capturing someone's most important day ever. So that can be a bit stressful, day of and in editing for sure. The wedding videographer lifestyle can also be pretty backbreaking. I'm usually shooting 8 to 12-hour days, and at this point, my back is killing me. It's definitely a back-breaking job. There's been a few days where I've gotten back from a long day and I laid down and I had trouble getting back up. So it can definitely be backbreaking. There's a lot of weekends and days when you're shooting in the middle of the summer, it's 100 degrees and you're just dripping sweat and you're drenched and, holding a camera out like this all day, it can be pretty backbreaking. So it's important to, go to the gym and do exercises. That's a video for another day, but staying in shape is really important if you want to be able to do this long term, absolutely. Lastly, something that can be difficult is just working with difficult people. That can be wedding vendors, family members, wedding staff. If you don't really consider yourself a people person, this might not be the right career for you. I consider myself to be an introvert, which makes this job hard for me, but I'm also very good with people. I'm good with working with difficult people and managing that. So it's a balancing act. And if you can master how to work with difficult people, it's going to make working with good vendors and good family members so much more rewarding. So to wrap it up, that's kind of the lifestyle pros and cons of being a wedding videographer. I'm sure I could go so much more in depth with this, but I'm not going to do that. If you have any other questions that you want to, ask me, please leave a comment and I will, answer you right away. And I'm hoping to, make more videos with some wedding videographer tips, things that I've learned that might not be the most talked about subjects. So, let me know what you guys think about this and hopefully I can, shoot some more videos. Thank you very much.